Good morning, everybody. Namaste. Nice to see you. That was a beautiful music, huh? Yeah. That was music by Benji Wertheimer. The album was Voice of the Ezraj. Very beautiful. So we keep that mood and we just start sitting right away. Yeah. Find a comfortable position. Maybe take a few deep breaths to arrive here. Knowing that you have nowhere to go now, just being here with yourself for a little while. Leaving the world behind. Exploring this sense of presence within yourself. And as we become present, we first of all become aware of body sensation. We feel the body from the inside. How does your body feel in this moment? Notice if there are areas in your body that feel a little tight still. And if so, bring your attention there and just release. Let go of those tensions. Becoming aware of the weight of your body on the cushion, on the chair, on the floor. And allow your body to sink down a little more as you relax. Connecting more with the energy of the earth. Is bound to bring us more here. Sending roots into the place you're sitting. becoming more like a big solid tree with deep roots in the ground, unmovable. Every tree is a bridge between earth and sky, just like our body is. Every tree is longing for the sky, even though it comes from the earth. It reaches for the sky. It follows the law of nature. And so we also perceive sky energy uplifting, especially on the top of the head, lifting up our body and our spirit. So we feel very rooted and grounded, yet very light too. Sustained, both from bottom and top. From underneath and above. In perfect balance, we sit. And we move our attention to the space between earth and sky, the inner space. We notice the movement of the breathing. In and out with its own rhythm. And we don't tamper with it. We don't try to change anything. Even though as we bring our attention to the breath, it might slow down a little bit. Because attention is nourishing. It's nourishment. Feel the prana as it moves in through the nostrils and moves down towards your belly. If the diaphragm is relaxed, you will feel the belly moving a little bit. If it's not moving, then see if you can relax the diaphragm more. Let the belly be also attracted by the earth energy. Let your belly and your diaphragm fall downwards with the pull of the earth. Allow the belly and the earth energy to be connected, as if becoming one, merging into each other. When your belly is relaxed, the lowest point that the chi energy reaches with the in-breath in your body, in your belly, that is your HARA center, your belly center. See if you can perceive that gravitational center in you, in your body. And let it connect to the earth. This is bringing you stability and strength. And when you're centered in that belly center, you can withstand many storms, also difficulties, because you're very stable and grounded. So let every in-breath reach your HARA center and nourish it. In this way, your HARA is nourished by above, from the prana through the breath, and from the earth from below. It's the meeting point of the two energies. Imagine your HARA to be the center of the room you're sitting in. Imagine your HARA to be the center of the house you're sitting in. And feel your HARA to be the center of the universe. From that little point in your belly, it expands in all directions. And so you let your inner space also expand. The same way. Let your inner space become as big as the room you're sitting in. Let your inner space expand to the size of the house you're sitting in. And let your inner space expand bigger to what's around your house and more. Into the sky and into the earth, including everything. It has no boundaries. It's free to expand. Because it has no form. Remain in this state of expansion. Explore it. Everything is included in that space. And it's safe because you know you're connected to your HARA center. You can expand as much as you like, knowing that you're grounded and connected to your center. You can let go. Let yourself expand with the sound of the ball. And very slowly bring your energy back to your belly, to your body. To the group. This is a good, I could call it exercise, what we did. That feeling of expansion, of expanding. It's something that helps the mind to come to terms with the fact that you're not only the size of your body. It's a way to start training our understanding around the fact that consciousness does not have a form, so it doesn't have a boundary either. You can sometimes think of it when you meditate as your body is inside of you instead of you are inside of your body. Yeah, that's also a good way to start training your understanding and your whole system to perceive differently than what the mind has been trained to perceive. As we were saying last time, I believe anything that has a boundary is as a form, and vice versa. Yeah, everything that is form has a boundary, but what has no form, how can it have a boundary? It doesn't have a boundary. It doesn't have a limit. So your consciousness has no form. So you can let it expand. You might feel sometime that maybe when you're in nature, it's easy to feel it sometime, no? That sense of expansion. And when you see a beautiful tree, suddenly you feel almost one with that tree. When you see a beautiful sunset and it's so mind-blowing in that moment, your mind stops, and in that moment you are part of everything that is around you. You might not realize that. Or sometimes you might be with somebody that you feel a lot of love for. Or even if you're not with them physically, there is a sense of oneness within that love, isn't it? And when we sit and meditate together, if we sit and everybody's thinking about what they have to do today, there's many people. But in the moment, all the minds stop. There's only one presence, one consciousness, because consciousness is universal. Look at it this way. Imagine that we are all, each of us is a candle. But You know, somebody is a big candle, somebody is a smaller candle. Sometimes someone is a big fat candle, someone is a long, thin candle. Many shapes and forms. The wax is different. Yeah, maybe some has more bee wax and some other candle is made with different wax. Some candles are red, some candles are white, some are blue. Yeah. But the light, the flame, it's the same. The quality of the light is identical. If you go in the center of that flame, you will find exactly the same light. And the light that it's spread around, it's the same light, same. Light is the same everywhere, no? The sunlight you see there at your place is the same as the sunlight I see here from my place. Comes through the window, it's the same light. So that which has form, like the candle, is different, but the light itself is the same. It's just a way to bring understanding to that. It's very important to start a little bit losing the little boundaries of the little me and realize that there is a much bigger guest inside this body, inside this little me. And in certain moments when the mind is really still, we must start perceiving that. It's a good thing. Don't get scared or worried about it. Somebody last time, I think it was Simone, said, I felt so dizzy because the meditation was going very deep. And her mind stopped and she's not used to being in that state. So she was feeling dizzy, you know? And sometimes you let your perception expand more. You might feel like that too. Or you might feel scared sometimes. Like, whoa, 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 wait a second, where's my body? I'm feeling lost, or I'm feeling dizzy, or I feel. That's why it's important to feel grounded first. And to always know that you can come back to your belly center, because that's, if it ever happens that you move out of your body, you know that your body will, your energy body will always be connected to your physical body through a string, like a light string that is connecting to your belly center. That's why that center is also called the life center and the death center. Because when we actually die, that thread is cut. So your perception of your belly center is something that will keep you always grounded no matter what happens. And even in daily life, when things are very challenging or there are big storms that are all around you, you go back to that belly center anytime, it will give you stability, groundness, stability. So you can stand there and then you become the center of the hurricane. Everything around you is spinning, but the center is not moving. Yeah, that's you. When you're centered, you become still. And in that stillness, you're strong and stable. Just giving you a few tools to play with. Yeah. So let's open the space if everyone wants to share something. Yeah, Rafa. You're muted. We can't hear you.
It was very helping for me to go in the HARA center, and it was the first time that I was in the lake in the night. But what really new and important, a little bit scary for me, was that I was not losing me in space, but also in time.
So you were not only expanding space, but also time was expanding?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, I don't, so that was my experience, I think. I was in a consciousness, and this consciousness had no space, no time,
Mm-hmm.
and no boundaries.
Yes.
And it was, I don't have the word for this, but it was this like a lake where I'm always am, or where this being is there with the consciousness there, and it's the consciousness that I will have by my last meditation. It is this consciousness that I had as a child. It was, and there was no boundaries of Rafaela. It was also the consciousness of the group.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a field.
A field?
A field
an energy field, yeah.
And it was quiet. It was smelling good, like we frangipani. the flowers, and it was healing. So I was feeling it's healing, and I was it's because it was very big, and sometimes I was seeing my little me, then I was losing it, and but it was, for example, I was one time in Costa Rica, and there is this forest. Yeah, and I was going there. I was sensing love. The trees are connected together, and it was also this energy. So I don't know. It was this field.
Good, very good.
And the HARA center was great because I was not scared anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, am I crazy, Shastro?
No, yeah, that's a very good crazy. Yeah. You don't need to worry about that kind of craziness.
Which field is this?
Which field?
Yeah, yeah.
Why you want to give it a name and a form?
Yes.
It's formless. No? But that's exactly it. We're all inside this field, this energy field. It's the same field. Yeah. It's like the light of the candle. It's the same light. And sometimes you might feel very big, and sometimes you might feel very small at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that exercise we did of feeling like the center expanding from the center, becoming bigger like the room, and then like the house, and then like the universe. And then you can do the opposite too. You can feel like the whole universe becomes smaller, 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 and it goes all into your belly and becomes a little tiny point. You make it as small as possible inside of your belly. That's also good because they're both true at the same time. Now, don't tell me I'm crazy, because I am. But there is both. So you can expand from that center, and you can also concentrate. That whole universe is concentrated in that little point. It's a good exercise to do. Yeah. And it's both, they're both true. And when you move in a space that has no form, and when there is no mind, because mind is form, even though you can't physically touch it, it's still an object. Thoughts are objects. Yeah. When you move beyond the limit of form, there is no time, because time is connected to form. Time, space. So it's normal to feel an expansion of time too, because in that moment, you're simply in the present moment. Yeah? In the present moment, there's no past and there's no future, so there is no time. Present is not part of time. That's a big mistake that we do in our language. We think time is divided in past, future, and present. No. Time is only past and future. The present is not part of time. There is no time in the present. There's only now. So start thinking in that way too. Time is within past and future. The present is not part of time. So when you're in the present, of course you feel an expansion of time. There is no time. It's true. It's correct. There is no time. You're in the present. Present is not part of time. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Rafa. Yeah, beautiful. The mind moves always within time. That's correct. Yeah, remember we used the image of the pendulum. The mind moves on here's the past, here's the future, and the mind moves like this. And if the pendulum stops, it's in the present. But then there is no movement. There's no pendulum anymore, right? Because there is no time in the present. Yeah. So we should start thinking in those terms, because sometimes we make things very complicated and unnecessary. When you are present, there is no time. You're in the now. It does not belong. The now does not belong to time.
But in this moment, in this field, I could be connected with me as whole woman and with me as child. So it's like tunnel, no, not a tunnel, meeting. So it's a field. I don't know.
Yeah. In that field, we could say past and future, they meet in the present. Or we could say they all exist at the same time.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about time, imagine you're sitting on a tree, like the one behind Petra. It's very nice. I like that tree. Imagine you have a little tree house there, a little platform, or you just sit on a branch, you climb on top. And then you go on top of a tree and you look around. So you will see when you look all around, and imagine there is a path, a little path that goes in front of the tree. And people walk on this path. And so from the top of the tree, you will see the people that are coming, but they're not in front of the tree yet. Yeah, they're far away because you're up high, so you can see much more. And then you look the other side, you see the people that passed in front of the tree, but now they're gone, right? So you are seeing the past and the future, right? So imagine the tree is your present moment. And the higher you go on a tree, or you could say the higher you go in your perception or in your consciousness, the further away you can see. So then you can see the far away past and the far away future. The higher you go, they both are seen in this moment. In this moment, yeah. So you can think of time in that way. So the higher you go to the tree, the more more your consciousness is expanding. The more you perceive not only 1 second ago and 1 second in the future, but you can perceive more, hours, and then lifetimes. So that's why when people reach a certain level of evolution in their consciousness, they can start perceiving past lives. They can also start perceiving what will happen. Yeah, because for them, it's happening in their now. It's all perceived within the present moment for them. Past and future are part of the now. They're happening at the same time. It's a little difficult to grasp for our mind, but I think this image of the tree is very helpful, no? And you understand, oh yeah, I can perceive both at the same time, and I'm definitely in the present. Who else wants to share something? Vilasha.
Yeah, for me it was very helpful, and I have to remember in my daily life that I'm bigger than the body, because I feel so much hurt in my body, and I feel when I'm bigger than the body, it's very healing. So then suddenly I can relax, and suddenly, wow. So I in a way, I make myself very small.
Yeah, we all do.
And contracted immediately when somebody says something, I contract the body. and to be more centered in the belly and to be more grounded, and to remember that in my daily life. I can do it in meditation,
Yes.
and then dissolve, and but this point to do in your daily life is to remember this, that is for me very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
I feel it's very healing, as if you are bigger, you can get some space also.
Yeah.
I have the feeling, I don't do it, but in my unconscious maybe, or that everything is contracted as soon as somebody says something not so nice or whatever. So that,
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, because contraction is small. Yeah, everything that is small is contracted. Or let's say everything that is contracted is small. Yeah. And relaxation means expansion. So bigger. Yeah. So even to start putting your attention in the way you perceive yourself in a bigger way, that's why I was saying, think of your body as your body is inside of you, not you are inside of your body. It's just a change of gestalt, a change of looking at the same thing from a different angle, and allowing yourself to be bigger than this little thing inside of your body. That brings the sense of expansion, isn't it? So we train our attention to perceive ourselves and everything, the world itself, in a different way. Also, attention, wherever we put the attention, we nourish that thing, right? So if I put my attention in something really small, which could also be the pain you feel, and you keep putting your attention there, you nourish, you make that pain in a way
that's it.
more present.
Yeah.
And you become like single pointed on something small. It's a little bit like putting this thing they put on the horses,
Yeah, because
so you see only that. You see only that little bit in front of you. So to start train also the perception of the mind to something bigger, wider, and move our attention to something bigger, it allows for expansion and for relaxation, because relaxing means to expand. That's all.
Yeah, to give it space, really give it space.
Yeah.
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 As if that's nourishment, kind of.
Yeah. We can get very fixated now. When we say you get fixated, what does it mean? That you concentrate on one thing. You can make yourself sick, for example, by concentrating on one little thought and thinking that whatever, you have a problem in your body, and you concentrate just on that and you can't think of anything else, you can make yourself sick. Even if you were not sick in the beginning, just by thinking of it. For example, fear, the fear that is around of getting the virus. The more fear you have, the more likely that you'll get the virus. Because there is a contraction. Through fear, there's contraction. We become small and we become vulnerable, more vulnerable. And when we're expanded, we're relaxed, we're not in fear, we're expanding. Fear is always contraction. So fear is small. And relaxation is big, it's expanded. So if we want to stay and live in a healthy body, we have to learn to relax. And being very watchful when fearful thoughts come from the outside. We have to be very careful and notice that and not take them in, because they are contraction. Yeah. So, yeah, this is important understanding to have. Fear is always contraction, and it will make you always small. And as you said, could be a fear of not being accepted or being criticized, you know, can be anything. Anytime we feel fear, we feel like we become smaller, no? Yeah, it's like that. So yeah, let's allow ourselves to be bigger than that. And of course, the way is through letting go, relaxing, both the physical and the mind, the psyche too.
And that this consciousness is also nourishing, huh? That's what I felt. So kind of when you open up, it is not a threat or something. It is nourishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. To feel that.
Exactly. That's also what Rafa was saying. Now there was healing.
Yeah.
There is healing in that
Healing.
expansion.
Yeah, healing.
Yeah. Because in a way, we go back to the original self. The original self is, again, has no form and it's expansive. So it's like we reconnect with ourself. It can only be healing, you know. Otherwise, we live a life of very small, limited little me. It's almost as if we're always sick, in a way. Yeah. And we are also homesick in the sense that there's something in us that longs for that expansion. It longs for it because it knows it so well. We know that state. It's our being. So when you touch those moments of expansion, you feel like, oh God, yeah, here it is. Of course, it feels healing. It is healing because you're reconnecting with your true self. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Abhilash. Rafa, you wanted to add something?
Yes, to Abhilasha, it's just a thought, but you say to give space. I think we can change the verb and say to sense the space, because we don't give the space. Then it's just working, or we give. But to fall in this and trust and to sense the space.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, then it's more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're not doing anything.
Good, yeah. Thank
Otherwise,
you.
we're always doing. That's true.
And the space is there. It's not our job.
The space is there. We don't have to make it. That's true. Okay. Anything else wants to be shared? Vicky, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Shastro, can we stay there? Can we just remain there? Do we have to move? Do we have to?
You don't have to.
I'm in such a beautiful space.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that today is not lost for me. Today is one for me because I just want to remain here.
You can. You can.
Yeah.
And then also when you open your eyes and start moving around, that's another practice, Okay, how do I bring this expansion with me also while I move around, not only when I sit. Of course, it's easier to perceive that space with your eyes closed and sitting in a quiet space. But then somehow you start bringing that quality with you also when you move around, and then people start feeling it. And people start looking at you and wanting to connect with you. They don't know why. Yeah. Because somehow it makes them feel good.
Yeah, because now in this moment it feels like effort to open my eyes, to keep my eyes open. I just want to go back.
Well, now we're going to close this session and you can go back to it right away.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy that space. When it comes, let it be. Let it be. Take it as a precious gift and just squeeze the juice out of it. And then at a certain point, your body will want to move, and then you just move. It's okay. But definitely don't force it. Don't force the moving. If you feel, you know how it is. When you feel blissful in that space, stay there. You don't need to go anywhere. And then movement will come by itself. You don't have to do it again. There's nothing to do. Let it happen when it wants to come. Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye to you. And you want to unmute yourself for a moment? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to see each other next Friday, most likely. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure on Telegram. This is
Thank you.
Thank you.
much love to
Ciao,
everybody.
Ciao, grazie.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Ciao. Grazie.
Ciao.